Hello and welcome to Late Night Live. Doesn't it feel a little bit dull in here? I know we've got to self-isolate, but surely we can spice things up a little bit. I've got an idea. Hello and welcome to Late Night Live. This isn't any better, is it? It's worse. I know. Yes, everyone, what is going on? My name is Stephen Howson, and this is not right. No. Hello and welcome to Late Night Live. It's not right either, is it? I've got it. Hello and welcome to Late Night Live. This is better, isn't it? This is better. For a full episode. Hello and welcome to Late Night Live. Of course, I'm not in the bath, you absolute psychopathic perverts. What I do have though is a very wet jacket, because there was real water, there was real jackets, there was real time in the bath. Oh, how's everyone doing at home? How are you? This is Late Night Live, of course. Tonight's sponsor, forgot to mention, cans. There we go. Friday night. Get them in there. Get them in there. How's everyone doing at home? We've got some great stories to talk about today. Jadon Sancho, again. We've got UEFA's ruling. Man United might not be in the Champions League. We're going to pretend that that hasn't been said, because no one wants that, do they? No one really wants that. How you doing at home, lads? Let me know. And girls, ladies and gentlemen as well, because that's what they say it for. Ladies, gentlemen, other. How is everyone? Let me know what you're drinking at home. I've got myself a Kronenberg. For some reason, when I cracked this open today, it just took me back to Langold. I was in Langold for a moment, one of my first pints. Very delicious, actually. Very delicious. I would like to make a little shout out, first of all, to @MoreMakingMusic on Twitter and @CharliePennell9 on Twitter, who both made Joe music remixes last week. So thank you very much to both of those guys for making those. Very well done. Very well done. Very well done. How's everyone doing at home? Oh, it's exciting, isn't it? Another week in paradise, lads. Another week, we've done it. I think they're going quick. I mean, they're the same every week, but they are going quick. Like sort of reading Harry Potter's films, books, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, that was a real page turner. I finished that. It was the same as the last one, admittedly. Kids, problems, magic, resolution. Kind of the same thing every week, but that doesn't mean that they're not good. And these weeks in isolation have been brilliant so far. And if any of you genuinely thought that I would do a full 20-minute show in the bath, get out. Get out, honestly. Right, let's get into it then. Let's get into it. Let me turn that down a little bit. That looks like it's a bit loud there. That's better. Let's get you off there. Thank you. Oh, one sec. What the fuck? It's good that, ain't it? I'm going to be using that a lot today. First story then, and this is coming from Simon Stone, the absolute ruiner of dreams, and he's talking about UEFA. You've heard of him, you hate him, UEFA. Obvious conclusion from yesterday's UEFA release is that if there's no more games, Liverpool will be champions, Chelsea into the Champions League with Leicester and City, and United go into Europa with one of Wolves or Sheffield United and another into playoff. Don't know what that bit means. Then it says Spurs and Arsenal would miss out. CAS hearing pending. Now that CAS hearing pending, if you've never heard what CAS hearing pending means, that means that Man City might still be nicked out. Because officially, they have been kicked out. Whatever happened to guilty until proven innocent in this country? Can't we kick them out, and then if they prove that they were alright, we let them back in? What's all this pending? What's all this, oh, we've got courts of arbitration of sport, CAS. I think that is actually it. I didn't read that, but I think that's what it is. Kick them out, and then if they prove that they didn't do anything wrong, let them back in. Guilty until proven innocent. This country has been based on the guilty until proven innocent system for as long as I can remember, and it's done us pretty well so far, this bloody country. Now, I understand that they get their chance to appeal, but I don't want them to appeal. Can't they just eat salt? Hey, City, eat salt. You know that whole saying, eat salt. So, this is bad news, isn't it? Let's face it, no one wants to be in the Europa League next season. I want to be in the Champions League. But here's something else. We're also confident that if we carry on playing these games, we'll make the Champions League. We might not either. So there's another sad thing to think about. But I do wonder, we're used to the Europa League a little bit now, as much as it pains me to say it. Another season in the Europa League, Thursday night, bag of shite. We're kind of used to it. But the reason I bring this up, for a couple of reasons. Number one, today, the the Dutch league. That was a Freudian slip that is actually, unfortunately, pretty true, isn't it? The Ajax league has this afternoon announced that their season is just cancelled. Gone, dead, never existed. No relegation, no promotion, no champion. No fun. But also, maybe no Liverpool champions. Because one thing, I think a lot of people have talked about during this coronavirus, don't know if you've heard of it, sort of scenario that we found ourselves in, is the fact of it being a great leveller. The fact of it, we're all in this together. We all, you know what, we're all pulled together and we'll make decisions as a team and we'll come through this and we'll come through the better side of this. We'll come through the other side. One thing I have noticed is every single effing league in Europe has so far just done their own thing. You'd think it'd be like, what we're going to do, you go first, you pull the trigger and we'll all follow you. So Belgium were like, right, okay, we're going to give the title to the person who's top. And then everyone else is like, nah, we're not doing that. We're like, what do you mean? It's like, well, Germany, we're playing again in 2 weeks. Right, okay, that's different. Germany's different. I'm sure Holland will go along with Belgium. No, we just cancelled the whole thing. Oh, right. What about England? Well, what we're thinking of doing is having like a 4-week kind of mini tournament where everyone stays in Birmingham and sort of plays each other and then one of them wins that. Right, we're all in this together then, are we? Absolutely not. The money talks more than any sort of camaraderie or sort of general sort of business conscience that may you would think would be sort of forged and kind of put in a crucible and just blended together for the sake of mankind. But really, let's just do what the frick we want, guys? What puns we're making tonight? Very good point. We'll get to that. I've got a very good story coming up. We'll be making all of our puns about that story. P Savage, thank you very much. P Savage also says, bodes well for Liverpool not winning. Well, the Ajax thing does, yeah. But they were only ahead on goal difference, not 20 points. But you've either won it or you haven't won it. Another reason I want to talk about this, because this could link to United's chances of signing Jadon Sancho. Look at this, David Ornstein. Ever heard of him? Used to work for BBC, now writes to The Athletic. Lovely tie. Lovely traps, David. Someone works out. And then Jadon Sancho's the other one. Listening to the traps. Bloody hell, they're humming. They're that muscular. He was on Manchester United's fan channel and sort of personality, Stephen Howson. His podcast featured David Ornstein. I almost said another name there, which I shouldn't have said. David Ornstein, a few months ago, or last month, where he was talking about Jadon Sancho, and he's since then, sneaky little thing that he is, come out and said that Jadon Sancho's preference is to play for a Champions League club. Jadon Sancho was preferences to play for Champions League club, and that's just one of many considerations. Who want the whole package to be right, don't we all, Jadon? Manager, teammates, role inside, club standing, project vision, contract, etc. No agreements yet. I'm not necessarily a favourite, but the worry is we get dumped into the Europa League because they can't just... How hard can it be to just give every single club in Europe enough tests that seemingly are very scarce and very difficult to get hold of at the best of times, even for frontline workers? Give them enough tests. Don't forget about the nurses, forget about the doctors. Give the footballers the tests. They're the ones that need them, not the people who are struggling with their lives. So make it easy. Give all this, and as well, if there's any spare equipment knocking about, I'm sure there's plenty of spare equipment knocking about, give it to the footballers so we can get this bloody thing up and running. So I don't know what all the fuss is about, honestly. There's priorities, isn't there? And football comes first, no matter what. We all agree on that, don't we, lads? Yeah, it just seems a bit implausible, plausible, that we could be seeing a festival of football type tournament over 5 weeks that is similar to something that we like to call the World Cup, which is the best of all sports. World Cup, of course. We might not sign Sancho, but you know what? At this point, we're all United fans here. How funny would it be if we didn't sign him, right? I know we'd hate it, it'd be awful, but how funny would it be if we're like, we talked about it for 6 months. We thought it was done. Yeah, we haven't signed him. What's he done? He just stayed there. He just stayed where he was. No one even knew that was an option. It would be funny if we didn't, but let's move on from that because it's not worth it. We had people in the comments before asking what the puns were this week. Should we just get to it? I say stick all the Premier League managers in the Gulag round on Warzone and decide who gets the Champions League. Babyface Assassin would do them. Yeah, he might be good at that. Who do you think would be the best at video games of all the Premier League managers? Hodgson, gone. Unless they're playing like Pong or something. Who else would be good? Jose probably don't get into that. I bet Pep's good. Pep's probably good at that. Klopp doesn't really know what he's doing. He just laughs. Just at the controller. Anyway, let's get into a bit of a fun story. Also, if you could like the video, that would be great. What about City's ban? Well, that's the Court of Arbitration for Sport or of Sport or from Sport, whatever that means. And that basically is they get a chance to appeal through different courts. So they're like, we don't think that what you've done there is fair. And then the court has to go, all right, we'll have another look at it. And they're like, do you know when you go, here's what it's like. Do you know when you go, you're like, oh, my mates are going swimming. It's like, oh, Mum, can I have £6 so I can go swimming, please? And she's like, no, I gave you a tenner last week. You're like, oh, yeah, but everyone else is going. And she's like, no, you're not going. And you haven't tidied your room either. You're like, got it. Then you go to your dad and you're like, oh, tell you what, Dad, everyone's going bloody swimming, but I'll be darned if I ain't got the £6 necessary to go. Proper like laying it all out, but like you've just thought of it. Honestly, Dad, it's the thing, isn't it? £6 these bloody days to go swimming, and my coffers are empty, Dad. And he's like, go on then, I'll give you a £5. That's basically what City are doing. Oh, Court of Arbitration of Sport. Isn't it annoying that we're not allowed to just spend all the money we want? Like, get out. We've already heard you once. Clear off. What about the Human Rights Court? I wonder if you'd let us up. It's annoying, isn't it? We just want to spend loads of money and get away with it. Isn't that annoying? Yeah, you get away with it. That's what they're doing. They get to go to like 4 different courts, asking your mum for a £5 to go swimming. Despicables. Eddie Howe, yeah, he'd be pretty good. I bet Lampard's good at Call of Duty, and he's one of the people, not Call of Duty, it is Call of Duty, isn't it? Gulag. He's one of the people that when he wins, he probably gets up in your face like, yes, proper screams in your face. Chris Bignall, welcome to the Academy, mate. He's now a member of Stretford Paddock. If you'd like to become a member, click the frickin' join button next to the subscribe button, and then you can have a look at the tiers, see what you fancy, join in, get extra stuff, and help us out as well. It's brilliant, really. The only argument City could make is how the info was obtained. Watergate style. Broke into the UEFA headquarters and nicked it back off him. Cristiano Potato. This guy's just making his own puns. Dennis Berger. Who's that meant to be? Dennis Berger. Henning Berger. Dennis Berger. Dennis Bergkamp. Oh, okay, cool. Right, let's get into our first proper story of the day. And this one is turn the lights out because this is getting sexy in here. That's all I'll say. Woman dating a chandelier has discrimination case thrown out.
What the fuck?
That's right, Stephen. There's a woman, and of course she's dating a chandelier. Need I say more? Kissy kiss, kissy kiss kiss. And this is where I would like your puns, because in the article she very clearly goes on to state that, you know, despite the court... So actually, let's start it. A woman who claims to be in a relationship with a 92-year-old chandelier, probably just money grabbing, always just getting... When you see a younger woman with an old man like that, you just think, just money grabbing, isn't she? She's with this 92-year-old chandelier. She's lost a discrimination case against the son. So not all good. Amanda Liberty says her sexual orientation is an attraction to an intimate object. Inanimate, sorry, not intimate. I'm sure it is intimate by the time she's finished with it, which has been described in one academic paper as objectum sexual. She's spoken about her unusual love story in the media previously, saying she planned to have a commitment ceremony to Lumiere. Not that. Not particularly inventive, is it? Isn't that what the guy from Beauty and the Beast is called? The candle. To show that my love is going to last. I bet, yeah, you know. She says here that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Oh no. She puts the light at the end of her tunnel. That is disgusting. Anyway, yeah. It's nice though, I suppose. And the thing is, let's see if we can get some puns on this. The thing is, right, if... What is attractive about a chandelier? Oh, hang on a sec, there's another picture here. Let's get this one up. Hang on. I didn't know it was that sexy when I took the piss. Look at that. Look at that. That is... What's this here? What's this? No wonder she... What's this hanging off the bottom here? Hang on, I take this back. Let's keep reading. She argued that her sexual orientation in Context Clause 12 covered people who were attracted to people of the same sex, opposite sex, or both, not people who were attracted to objects. Oh, that is annoying, isn't it? The newspaper said, I was not aware of any reputable definition of sexual orientation, dismissing Miss Liberty as well, Liberty. And then she's been, her sexual liberties have been infringed upon. It says Clause 12 protection to individuals in relation to their sexual orientation towards other persons and not to objects. That is a shame, isn't it? As such, the complainant's attraction to an object did not fall within the definition of sexual orientation as provided by Clause 12, and the terms of Clause 12 were not engaged, although she was to a light. It's great. She goes on to say, you know what, despite the ruling, I remain glass half full of glass. Dude, that is awful, isn't it? That is really awful. Anyway, I'm sure that Chandelier really lights up her world. Right up her world there. Someone says, posh love beads. I never know what to read, and sometimes I get caught out. Does she turn it on? Very good. Very good. I hope it's a candle one with the matches and light. But even so, great joke. Use a feather to turn it on. Very funny. This is good. These are good. Someone said, do you remember seeing that? Blinded by the light fixture. Very nice indeed, actually. It's exciting though, isn't it? How dare they objectify her lover? Cheers, everyone. How dare they indeed. Right, what we got next? What's next then? It's our last story of the day. It's our last story. 18 minutes gone already. That time really does fly, doesn't it? When you're having Cronenberg. Let's have a look then. Last story. And this is an interesting one. This one hits close to home, actually. Very surprising. I was reading through the MEM the other day and saw something quite surprising. Look at this. In the Manchester Good Evening News, drone spots Jesus wandering shoeless in Manchester city centre. Let's have a read. Let's have a read, everyone. First of all, to the person that made this, whoever you are, Britain's bestest regional news sheet is fantastic. That's news to me, as the little strapline for the newspaper look. Brilliant. Drone spots Jesus wandering shoeless in Manchester city centre. Now, I hate to admit this, I may know the person that is being talked about here. Jesus miscalculated his second coming, arriving on Manchester city centre on Good Friday to find the streets deserted. We don't really keep tabs on you that much, said Jesus, of no fixed abode, as he explained why the absence of the city's 2 million residents was news to him. Jesus' business trip took him to the offices of Stretford Paddock, YouTube channel pioneering popular football team Manchester United. It is assumed that the road-brained visitor was hoping to purchase one of the channel's recently offered subscription offers. Look at that, insider trading. He was open to buy one, but he ain't got a laptop. He's just got a tablet. Jesus, the assistant to the regional manager, seemed to take the disappointing turn out in his stride, deciding to return back upstairs after consuming a glass of Merlot produced from the city's own tap water. Look at this. Look at the work. Look at the craftsmanship that has gone into this. Manchester Good Evening News. And you know what? I think we may have to say good evening on that. But before we go, and you know what? Again, brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant, that, by the way. Absolutely brilliant. Britain's biggest regional news sheet. There we go. Whatever land turns you on. Exactly. How are you going to do an hour late night live show? When are you going to do an hour late night live show? Oh, I don't know. Maybe when we get let out and I can have someone with me, or I can get some guests in, then we could do a longer form late night live. I'll tell you what we're going to do though before we go. And you know what? I hate to sink to this level because I've been challenged to do one of these drinking things, and it's a bit silly, innit? But it's Friday night. The weekend is here. We've all been at work all week. The commute was bad. It was busy on the streets, wasn't it? The workload has been pretty exciting. I'm sorry about this, Mum, but it's only one pint. It's only one pint, you know what I mean? And I would like you all at home to raise a toast to the weekend as it arrives, as it pours into our mouths. Let's get this up. I hate that I'm doing this, But you know what? It's for charity after all, isn't it? And I'm going to donate, whatever's left of this lager to charity, because I probably won't finish it. Let's get some music on. Hang on a sec.
What the fuck?
It's good, that, innit? It's good that we're going to keep using that. Right, let's get the music on. Let's just down a log. Let's just down a lager for no effing reason whatsoever. Right, here we go. If I throw up, I can't throw up. I can't risk throwing up. Right, let's do this. Come on, lads. Right, that's going to be all from me. I hope you all have a great weekend. I will see you. Actually, tomorrow, we've got Stephen Howson with his transfer review. And if you haven't checked out Adam Howson and McCullough Uncensored on the channel, please do check that out as well. And like I said before, the memberships are there. If you want them, press join, press the thing, press the money, press the thing, get extra stuff. We really help us out. So all of that kind of great stuff. Have a lovely weekend from the lady who has sex with a chandelier and me. Good night.